If you're seeing this at this time, we're connecting a stream from a remote location. I'm in one room, and the person turning on the streaming is in another room. And so this may not sync up exactly. I know my start time, but you may be seeing me sit here for a minute. But we're getting ready to go in about a minute. Okay, we're going to get started now. Good morning. I'm Deborah Gordan, and we are streaming from the Unity Spiritual Center of Sachse. The spiritual leader here is Kim Andrews, and she will go live at 11 a.m. Central Time. But we have this time apart, about 45 minutes, where we do a prayer and meditation session. And just give everyone an opportunity to sink in together, guided meditation, prayer, and just know the truth together. And so to that end, I want to just take a moment this morning to say something. All of us on this spiritual journey that we're on, sometimes we forget that it's really okay if we don't do it perfectly all the time. And I know we're hearing that a lot. But somehow think that because we're on a spiritual path, we should be above that, and we should always know, we should always be centered, we should always be peaceful. And I think that's not what Earth is about. I think we're here to learn and to grow, and our ultimate end is to understand and be in the flow all of the time. But it is a spiritual practice because we're learning how to do that and how to come back to center. And prayer and meditation, that's the big thing in our tool chest, I think, to do that recentering, to do that recalibrating, to do that check-in and to remind ourselves. So yesterday I had a rough day, and I started to give myself a hard time about it because I expect myself, to understand the truth and to feel the truth all the time. And, it felt really good to come here today. I purposely didn't try to be all perfect and centered this morning because I wanted to show you at least how I bring myself, or one way maybe that might show up when I come to prayer, when I come to meditation. And what I believe is that prayer is the talking to God and to bringing your authentic self. That means whatever you're experiencing in that particular time, that's what you're bringing to the table. If you go to lift something, which is our whole point, we want to lift our consciousness. If you go to lift something, you got to get up under it. You got to start from where you are and bring that to the table. And just we're reminding ourselves of the truth so that we can align our experience with what we believe. And so that's where I'm coming from today. I just want to acknowledge that you may have your moments of sadness, you may have your moments of grief, you may have your moments of fear or doubt, or wow, I'm feeling some grief for the changes that we may experience as we come back into the world. Ultimately, I know we have a divine opportunity here, but sometimes my experience has to catch up to the deep wisdom that we do have. And so that's what these points, that's why we're here, to do our prayer and meditation together. So I love you all, and I invite you to take this time with us to come to prayer, come to meditation, feel some peace, feel the lifting. And by you individually lifting, we lift the all. So let's relax together. Just get comfortable in your chair. Do whatever you have to do, stretch a little bit, whatever you have to do to feel like, that chair's gotcha, and just relax. I move my neck a lot, whatever you need to do to come to peace. And let's just breathe. And I'm going to pray from that part. I'm bringing all those feelings I was having yesterday, and a little residual today. I'm That's what I'm going to pray from to start with, because I want to bring that authentic self in. So I'm breathing in that fresh breath, and what I'm saying right here and right now, God is the good, the all good. And I'm saying that right now, that's what I want to feel. I want to feel the presence of that goodness. I'm feeling sadness. I'm feeling grief, a little confusion. I don't even know why I'm feeling all the feelings I have. But I also know that that also is in divine order. There is an ebb and a flow to all things. And that maybe the residuals of the day of feeling everyone's stress, my own included, of feeling fears surrounding us, that maybe it's time to just take out the trash, that we're bringing that energy that we know to not be needed, that we know to not be true. We're just kind of gathering it all up and taking it out, and that's what we're doing here. So Mother, Father, God, I affirm your presence. I affirm that I don't need these things. I don't want to feel the fear and the sadness. I'll move through it. I'm not saying it's not real or that I don't need to allow that wave to pass. I will walk through it. I'm not denying that I feel it. So I bring this sadness to you. And as we often do, I'm picturing that clear, clean room that we're making the choice to step into today, okay? You're choosing to walk into that and start placing those things on this table. But as we do so, let's just take a few deep breaths together, seeing this clear, clean energy coming in. And as we breathe out, imagining we're setting things down on this table, this room. We're setting down our fear, false evidence appearing real fear. And we say that despite what it may appear to be, we can't fall outside of God. There is an ebb and flow, but always we live in God's world. Always we live in God's presence. Despite what it appears to be, we are in the presence of a divine, marvelous, benevolent Creator. And the image I'm getting right now is of a newborn baby being born into the world. They don't know the sun rises every day, sets every evening. They don't know this, but it's true. They live in a divinely ordered world. And so for us, can we affirm in this time, there is so much more at work here in divine order than what we know. We don't have to beseech the benevolent Creator to bring back the sun. It is happening. We are safe despite any feelings of fear, despite any appearance of to the contrary. The truth is we live in a divinely ordered universe. Change happens, and we are creations of God. And the tide comes in, and the tide goes out. And the sun rises, and the sun sets. And the world revolves, and the seasons change. We have winter where it would appear that all is dead, but it is not true. It is in hibernation, it is in restoration. And the spring comes, and hope blossoms, and life is more evident to our eyes. Life that has been happening the whole time. And then into the summer where we see the fruition of all seeds planted, consciously and unconsciously, those seeds planted come to fruition. those things we no longer have need of fall away in preparation for us regrouping again in our quiet time. So we allow ourselves to feel the truth that we are in this divinely ordered universe, and that even this experience, however it came to pass, this natural experience is somehow part of a cycle of life that we are a part of, that we will be sustained through, that we will come out on the other side of, and we will regroup, we will restore, and hope will blossom, and the beauty comes to fruition. So we allow ourselves to just visualize this process. We breathe more deeply. We sink into the fact that we are inextricably a part of nature, God's nature, goodness's nature. The nature of God that understands the flow of life because it is the flow of life. Whether we know it or not, whether we resist it or not, we are part of the flow of life. So rather than resist, we behold the beauty of, which places us in the flow more deeply, more comfortably, more in a place where we can celebrate the cycles of life, which includes acknowledging the fears and the doubts and the difficult experiences that some people are having, very difficult. We acknowledge that. We embrace them as brothers and sisters of the light. Again, whether they know or not that they are part of the light, they are inextricably a part of it. That infant knows not that the sun rises and sets, doesn't know of the sun yet at all, but it exists. And so we say there are so many higher powers at play here than we know. That we are safe, that we dwell in the presence of a living, loving God that knows all, sees all, is all. We are life itself. God is life itself. I am life itself. Breathe deeply, breathe out. Okay, so now we take it another level. It's as though we're reaching out and reaching in at the same time. We reach out just acknowledging that there is a higher power other than what we are aware of. We reach in acknowledgement that it dwells within us at all times, that all the answers are stored there, our treasure chest and our toolbox all rolled into one. We have all we need to move higher, to move forward. And this time of prayer is to acknowledge that alignment. No incongruities between what we believe to be true in the goodness of life itself and what we experience. Those two things come together as we acknowledge the truth. So deep breath again. Anything else that you feel, any little kinks in your body, any little kinks in your emotions, in your mind, place them on that table. Know they're being cleansed and refreshed. As we choose to go deeper and higher. A higher consciousness. We want a stronger view. We want to see more from the eyes of God, that perspective. We are offered that higher perspective at all times. So just like a stairway, let's imagine we're slowly stepping up. With every thought, first you pray for hope even, right? We pray to feel hope. We take a step up. Feel that stair beneath you. Hey, let those stairs be a little wider. It doesn't have to be such a narrow staircase. You have room for your feet to be nice and solid. Take a deep breath and now step into your hope. See that blossom. See a color. Nurture it with your knowledge that it is real. And then take another step up knowing that your hope is justified. That's another step up. Your hope is justified. And then another step that says, what is faith? What is that gap between hope and faith? I believe it's in believe. Be living. Be living. That which you know to be true. Your gut is telling you there's something higher. Your gut is telling you there is goodness that reigns in the universe. There is divine order. There is a benevolence that desires us to feel the expression of fullness of life. We are wired to see the beauty of nature. That means that the divine creator wants us to experience joy, right? We're wired to enjoy each other. We're wired to fall in love. We're with life, with each other, but with life. We're wired that way. To me, that's proof of a benevolent creator. So allow yourself to really expand that step that says, I believe there is goodness. I believe in goodness. I believe we are all offered the experience of goodness. And then let's take another step up in gratitude that we are all offered goodness. And let's take another step into the knowledge that we are all a part of goodness. We are that. Wow, that's a big one. That's a platform. We are that. Let's take a moment on that stair that's now a platform. It's so expanded, okay? We believe we are living. We are choosing to live the truth. That we are that goodness. We align our experience with that belief by acknowledging its presence and its truth. It always was, it always will be. But we are bringing ourselves to that experience. We are breathing it in. So let's picture that. Pick your favorite color. Breathe that into your lungs nice and deep and slowly, and let it soothe you. You are health. You are health itself. All the sickness in the world does not disprove health as your natural state of being. Breathe that in. This body knows how to be healthy. All of the cells of your body are being called to their highest function right here and right now. Breathe that in. Breathe it out. Releasing anything unlike that thought. And as you breathe in the truth of health, as you breathe out, it's as though you're offering that belief and that feeling to the whole planet. You're offering that to the world. You're offering that to this room, to anyone who might be in the room with you. You're offering that to this beloved community. Think of all the people around the world doing so many incredible things to lift spirits, offering whatever they have, whatever their talent is. It's very moving. Their skills, their brains, their art, their music, their words, their prayer. Oh my goodness, like never before around this entire planet, feel the connection with those minds that would lift the all. Wow, there's a lot of it. That water level of divine consciousness has risen considerably as we connect. Let's take a moment and feel into that. Hear that music. See those faces. See your face among those faces. Shining, smiling, offering, crying, hugging, virtually and in person as you can. Picture your hands reaching out to others, taking hands. It is a wide circle indeed. Oh my goodness, hands across America, hands across the planet, hands around the globe. And who knows how many beyond this physical plane that have been blessing us and lifting us and encouraging us to feel the truth of this incredible experience that we have and the opportunity we have and the opportunity we are taking to align with the truth of our being, that despite the fine points of our belief systems, we believe in good. We believe in the goodness of mankind, to align to that goodness. See those shining faces, see the light they emanate. See the waves of healing that pour over the planet from this light. Waves and waves of light, purifying, calling each cell of every organism to its divine potential. Those that would bless, flourish. Those that do not align with the goodness and health of the universe, subsiding. Taking another form, being transmuted. And we allow those things to fall away, to be purged, to be cleansed. And energy is transmuted, neutralized, and then lifted. Oh, let's feel that truth. Feel the gratitude of the thousands as they allow themselves to feel lifted into millions of people seeking and finding peace, health, wealth, self-expression. And just as the many minds align in health, those many minds, inspired by the divine, come up with ways for all of us to flourish in our economy as well, the world economy. But again, for all to be blessed, we want each one to feel that blessing. A true blessing blesses all. So we lift the all. We lift the all in spirit, in health, and wealth, and self-expression. The levels of joy are beyond our imagining. And when we think of the evolution of this planet, imagine how quickly we've come to a place of cooperation, operating together. It's phenomenal. This is the energy we perpetuate. This is the energy we join our hearts and minds with. Enjoy. Enjoy. We join. Oh my goodness. Feel that presence. Feel the celebration that occurs as the minds beyond our understanding are joining with this and celebrating our acknowledgement, our conscious awareness. Can you imagine the celebration, the dancing, the music that comes from them watching us get it? Can there be a higher celebration? I believe this is like the prodigal son. It's not that we were so unworthy. It's that moment when the Creator sees us get that we always have been, and we return to aligning with our true identities. We are welcomed always in that presence. Breathe that in. We have always been worthy. And now we feel it. Look into the eyes of those ones that you would forgive in this time. Place no one outside of that line. If we really want to lift the all, we include them. Those that would have done the most horrible things. We don't have to decide how they heal. Not at all. We just pour the energy in and through every cell of their being, saying, you will get it. In your time, in God's time, in your choices. We're pouring so much acknowledgement of your divinity into your spiritual bank account that at some point you're going to let it sink in. It'll be irresistible for you to see the light. You will have to see the light at some point. We all do. And so just trust that they'll get it. That they'll feel your love, the love of all. At some point, their eyes will go upward. Their eyes will go inward and see that they are one and the same. Breathe that truth in. If you haven't already, include all of the world leaders, those you agree with and those you don't. Those that it's hard for you to look in their faces, but know they're a part of the all. They're a part of the ebb and flow. They are a part of this divine lesson. Some of the actions we abhor the most brought us to a point to allow healing. I used to think when I had an injury or an illness that the pain is, there's a fear attached to that that's difficult. But then when the bone was set or the stitches made or the surgery happened, it was a different pain, wasn't it? Because you knew you were on the other side of the fear and that pain was just a part of the healing process. So let's affirm that we're on the other side of this. This has been a procedure that we needed to have to set us back on the path. And we're on that path. We're on that path to healing. And any pain and suffering is bearable because we can remove the fear from it. We can say that this is part of the process. That we're on the other side. that we are part of the solution. We are the solution. Imagine how much God has trusted us to work it out, to give us free will, to let us screw up royally, knowing we would eventually choose the light, trusting us to do that. Wow. So let's do the same for our fellow man and ourselves. We're getting it. We get it more every day. This is it. It doesn't get any itter than this. We are a part of the light. We are the light. Let's breathe that in. Put your hand over your heart and your solar plexus, if you will, with me. And breathe. Precious one. Oh, just feel that for a moment, that God would say to us, goodness itself, that which ordered the whole universe, says to you right now, precious one. Feel that. Let it sink in. Precious one. Everything else falls away. You are in the arms of the beloved. Precious one. You are so cherished. Right here and right now, you are just as you are meant to be. Breathe that in. Right here and right now, you are safe. Goodness is here. We are here. You are here. Beloved one. You are cherished. You are embraced. And feel that healing hands upon you. The divine uses all things for good. So imagine, and what if it's true? I believe it to be true. That right here and right now, that hand on your heart and that hand on your solar plexus is being used to pour healing energy into your body. That healing, soothing energy. So that all things may come to the knowledge of this good. Hold it in the light. Any of your deep, dark secrets or thoughts, hold it in the light. And God, what about this? What do you say? And God says, the light is so much more than that. It is nothing. And it melts away like mist in the bright sunlight. healing hands of God, soothing your soul, soothing your spirit, lifting to the truth. You don't have to know all the hows. You don't even have to remember each thing that you have to bring to the light. Just know it's all there. All of you in the presence of goodness, in the presence of the brightest light, more than the sun. That light, meaning there is no absence of good. There is only the presence and the power. That light that says, all things are known and all things are good. Feel it soothing your heart. Don't be afraid to lay things aside. Sometimes we're afraid that if we're not tracking something, if we're not controlling something, it's gonna go off the rails. Well, this is that moment to trust. What you have need of will come back into more perfect alignment as you let go in this moment. And trust yourself, trust this community, trust this divine order. You've got it, God. And you feel God's answer, yes, and so do you. Infusing us with that belief in us. Remember, we've been given this free will because God believes in us and knows that we will understand our divine nature. We will align with it. Right here and right now. And know there are more steps to this journey. We've dwelled on this platform because this is where the comfort is, in aligning that belief system with our divine expression. There's always more. That's the divine beauty of this journey and this curiosity that pulls us ever higher. It's wonderful. But let yourself dwell on whatever step you need to be on in that time. Let yourself dwell in the comfort and the reassurance and the healing power of knowing you are not alone, far from it. But that connection that we feel is not really have to do with physical presence anyway, right? So let's feel that connection, that it goes beyond a physical presence. That connection in spirit, that connection in mind and heart. Let's see all of that in one place, in our core, the core of our being. All of those things aligned, the physical, the mental, the spiritual, other levels we may not even know about. We don't have to know about. We just bring whatever conscious awareness we have at any given time to that place, to this place, to that which we are, knowing there is so much more always. There is always more truth. There is always more comfort. There is always more healing. And you know, right here and right now is a perfect place to be, to feel. We know the truth. I know the truth for you. You know the truth for me. We know the truth for all. And there is a divine creator that knows so much more, that is so much more comforting and so much more healing than we can possibly imagine. That's what we align with. And as you bring your awareness back into this physical place, in this room, in this place, very slowly, greet this brand new day, this unwritten day, with new eyes, with a fresh ideal. What if I don't know everything? What if there is so much more good than I've ever allowed myself to know? What is that? Let me be curious. Let me look for the good. Let me see the beauty. Let me laugh and feel the delight that is mine for the taking, that has been scattered all over all the time. Breadcrumbs everywhere, trying to show us our true nature. Feel that joy. Feel that divine presence. I see it in you so easily, and I know you see it in me. I'm grateful for it. We see it in each other. We see the all. See all those beautiful faces, again, of the ones that pray and lift and bless us with their music and their gifts. Ah, thank you, thank you, thank you. We move. We live and move and have our being in the presence. We dwell in the knowledge of good. That is the truth of our being. We let it be so. Thank you, God. So, as you can, open your eyes, feel the presence, be right here and right now. You get to me. And know that due to the alignment of the stream, you may hear the music for a while after this before it comes off. That's okay. Just let yourself sit in it if you wish to, or however that may be. And bless yourself further at 11 o'clock by tuning into our wonderful spiritual leader, Kim Andrews. Go about your day in joy and peace and walk in love. Thank you for joining us.